Hey guys, D.Bowie here, and these are the things that I learned with Wings.Blink Mirana at ti6. Alchemist is a hero that if left unchecked, can grow his net worth even in the lane, way faster than other heroes can. So what Blink is trying to do here is something called double waving someone. He kills the ranged creep really fast, and because of that, the lane will definitely push faster. And since Elk is still level 1, he will struggle to last hit under the tower, since he is level 1 and has low base damage, and since he doesn't have acid spray. Also, he will take a lot of damage because he is a hero that has 0 armor at level 1. Check the size of the radiant creep wave now. But we have to give Weeha props here. He actually manages to get most last hits even under the tower, and now with acid spray, things get even easier. It's not like Blink did anything wrong here, Weeha just played really well, and even though Mirana can double wave someone easily thanks to the arrow, she doesn't have the best damage early on to make last hitting that much harder for the Alchemist, even with the draw aura early on. Since Elk went for the rune, the best trade Blink can do here is to push the lane as fast as possible, to make him choose between the lane creeps or the gold from the rune. In the end, he doesn't get any gold from the creep wave, only the experience.
Denied.
Something very important and that most Mirana players forget to do is use their arrow as much as possible to increase farm. But there's a catch that I will explain soon enough. Going for the top rune allows him to arrow the large camp without losing time. Mirana has very low base damage, so she kinda struggles to last hit under the tower, but since they have a draw in their team, it's a little bit easier. In this clip, you might be wondering why didn't Blink arrow the large camp instead of the medium camp, and that's probably because he wants the early experience more than the extra gold right now, but he actually misses the mud golems. Here we see him doing something pretty minor, but that reveals some foresight. He already knows that the catapult is hard to last hit, so he pops the regen to use the arrow for free and at the same time get a hard last hit. We have the same situation as before. Alk is going for the rune and he wants to shove his creeps in the Alk's tower. In the end, not only Alk loses most of the creep wave, but he doesn't even get the bounty rune. So it's pretty important to push the lane as hard as possible when the Alchemist goes for the rune, and if he's able to get both the last hits and the bounty rune, you're in a lot of trouble. Most of the Mirana players were getting ult at level 6, and Blink was no exception. The mana cost is very low after the buffs to the skill, and almost every time the benefit you would get for getting a second point in leap or arrow is lower. In this clip, he even uses the ult to position himself in a way to deal a lot of damage on the Alchemist, and he almost snipes him, but thanks to the Alch ult, he has to retreat and ends up dying. One of the problems Blink is going to have in this game is the Kunkka. He's a very good hero against Mirana, as I explained in my video about Misery's Kunkka. Here we can see Blink and Rubik trying to do something very clever. First of all, Blink respawns at the 6-minute mark, and they notice that the Alchemist went bottom to get the rune, which means that he has no vision of the runes, or else he would go for the top one, since it's a bounty, and Mirana was dead, so there was nothing to fear. And that ends up setting up a gank, because Rubik knows that the Alchemist has no vision of the runes or the jungle area, and he stays there. In the meantime, the Mirana pops the Storm very close to the Alchemist to force him to use the ult to mitigate the damage. The best way to set up a gank on Alchemist is to abuse the downtime on Chemical Rage. So the Rubik keeps waiting, and we can see Blink checking the buff duration on Alchemist to time the gank perfectly. But unfortunately, the Alchemist retreats, feeling that something was fishy. Even though the gank doesn't work, that's exactly how you want to approach an Alchemist gank after level 6.
Are those cracks in Dyer's top tower? It looks like Dire fortified their structure. Radiant's bottom.
In this clip, we see Blink doing something pretty cool. As Alchemist gets more levels, the acid spray hurts a lot, so to avoid taking too much damage and losing time in the lane, he damages some creeps and takes the entire wave very fast. It's pretty important to know by feeling how much damage you have to deal to each creep to take the entire wave with Starstorm, so you don't lose a lot of time or less hits. Even in the 5k bracket, sometimes I see people going phase boots on Mirana before the eggs. And in my opinion, there's almost never a good enough reason to do so. The extra damage you get doesn't really increase your farm or fighting power. Also, getting the point booster really increases your farming power because of the mana increase as well as your survivability. Closing the scepter on Mirana, it's almost like picking a Battle Fury on Anti-Mage. So after getting your essentials, which usually are Aquila, Bottle and Brown Boots, you should strive to finish the item as fast as possible. When you're playing against an Alchemist, you definitely want to take over his jungle, so after taking the tier 1 tower, he heads to the top lane. After forcing the tower a little bit, the Rubik manages to lift the Kunkka and check the Oracle reactions. He makes him magic immune, and because of that, Blink doesn't even pop the Starstorm.
Top tower. Radiant's bottom tower's got problems. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Since a fight starts, he uses Moonlight Shadow, gets kills, and immediately TP's bot to dissuade the Nature's Prophet push and also to siege the Dire tier 1 tower as well.
Into Radiant's bottom tower.
Unfortunately, after the X dagger, it's better for Wings to farm the Mirana scepter before keeping the pressure. And he gets a 14-minute eggs, which is very good timing considering he went Aquila and won before it and actually died once. And now they ramp up the aggression, but Alchemist already has Radiance. Wings and Blink retreat, and check how Wings prefer to take that fight just after the scepter. You can see that the decision of retreating and baiting them into the eggs was intentional. If Blink had ulted just after seeing the fight, there wouldn't be enough time to bait Digital Chaos into them. Also, I have to give props to the Coddle in relocating him early to get that Arcane Rune. Because of that rune, he has the cooldown of Leap again to jump and get everyone by surprise with the eggs, and when he jumps, you can clearly see how strong the item is.
Dire's bottom tower is being chipped away.
They get kills and map control thanks to the Starstorm eggs and the combo with the Keeper of the Light. In this clip we see how strategy and planning are a huge part of Dota when playing competitively. Blink was farming top and he gets ganked by the Kunkka. Since the Mirana is already very tanky thanks to the scepter, he doesn't panic. He waits for the X marks the spot to end before leaping, and by ulting right away, the Coddle is able to recall him near the Roshan pit and they can go for it instantly. Such a beautiful and clear assessment of the situation, done instantly. Not only they know that the Kunkka doesn't have both, but two heroes are top, and they know that the Elk doesn't want to fight yet. In the end, DC gets the best trade possible, which is getting the tier 1 top, but Roshan is a way better price, and with all that they can force the tier 2 bot, that is arguably the best tier 2 to take down for Radiant. I can't overstate how important and brilliant the Wings play was. The Alchemist was having a good game and DC was able to hold decent map control considering they were against a draw lineup. But by that play alone, they now have Aegis and only 2 tier 2 towers to take down in 17 minutes of game. Okay guys, this is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I just want to let you guys know that this video wouldn't ever be possible without the huge support from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love as well. Also, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'm making videos like this every day, and I'm sure something here will spark your interest. And if you really like my channel, please check my Patreon rewards and see if any of them are of your liking. Bye guys.